All right, we are live. So day 18, day 19 is now private because we worked a lot of Claude code and we don't know what we did over there. So let's see. I just made that private. The Claude code was very interesting. I recently found about. I didn't find about, but I knew about Poke by interaction, and I think Poke is amazing. Actually, Poke is amazing because it can pretty much do what Claude what a non-technical person would do with Claude I can just give it my link to my YouTube and it's like, okay, I will extract insights for you. I'll find the insights for you. Then actually goes and does very interesting things. And similar for Twitter, and you can pretty much do that for Instagram and everything. I think that is really cool. For non-technical people, they just want a very beautiful interface that just works with everything and being able to control everything. But yes, Claudebot, if you are highly technical, if you understand what Peter Steinberger is doing, then it's definitely amazing that you could be pushing the limits a lot. But there is a lot of interesting stuff happening. There's a lot of interesting stuff happening. There's a lot of excitement in general. I'm seeing Claudebot. OpenAI just launched Prism. Dario just came out with his new essay. Let's see. Dario Amodei, new essay. I think it's called the Adolescence of Technology, and he's like, yeah, in 1 to 2 years we are gonna wipe out everything, every white collar work. So that is very interesting. We don't know if it's interesting or if it's scary, but it's definitely interesting. He's talking about abundance. I think there's a very interesting idea where he's like, yeah, we will just give away 80%. All the co-founders will just give away 80% of their wealth because redistribution is really important. He's talking a lot about how we need to keep the chips, the Nvidia chips, to ourselves and not give it to our adversaries, no matter, even if that makes us money in the short term, because what we are optimizing for is power and freedom in the long term, and we don't want, what's that word, I forgot that word, but anyways, very interesting. I think Poke is also pretty good at these inside stuff. Is actually very good with Poke. I was able to ask it a simple question that, hey, look at my YouTube and extract insights, and gave me a lot of stuff. It gave me channel snapshot, what's working, main issues, growth opportunities, list more things that are working on my YouTube. So it can clearly see that, okay, in terms of views, definitely your collaborations are working pretty well. Collaborations being podcast, and I think that's actually easier when you bring someone who has a bigger audience and you invite them for a podcast. You have a great conversation, and then at the end they share to their audience, and that's how you. I think inviting people is just adding more character. I think the conversation I had with my little brother, that was amazing. He was on the podcast, he was excited to share. He was on the live stream, he was excited to share with people, and that not only makes the conversation much more interesting because we were exploring we were exploring these ideas in a different way, where instead of just going straight for the answer, yeah, we have all the answers, but what about letting your human mind explore, letting yourself explore the solutions without knowing the solution, where we will lose that ability if we just rely on the answers all the time. That, okay, I have this question, let me just go for the answer. No, where was you are missing the part where you are supposed to let your brain think through the solution, or think through the question and the solution. So that was pretty interesting. We are going heavy on the community side in general, building a really strong fundamentals with our family, with our friends, and making sure that the conversation keeps going. We all keep inputting things, stuff like that. That is really cool. I just did a quick run. That run was very cool. That run was really cool. So now we'll actually make an aura. We'll make an aura from that. 0.93 across the bridge. Just across the bridge. That was cool. Okay, very interesting. Aura is pretty cool. So great work, Zach Pograb. Great work on this. Okay. And now cross the bridge. Okay, we need to activate all the group chats now. We need to activate all the group chats. This is amazing. We need to, This is also really cool. I think even with the AI, how do you make sure that you use AI as a means to connect with people? AI is a means. AI is not the end. AI is a means to connect and reduce the friction. You think about someone, like I thought about a friend right now. I just sent her a picture and now we are talking. So I think we need to keep thinking about AI as AI is the means, people are the end. AI is the means, people are the end. Okay. All right, what do we have over here? Consistency in branding, a minimalist aesthetic and consistent thumbnail style creates recognizable identity. Deep dives into specific tools. When you spend 20+ minutes on a single AI tool, viewers say longer live demonstrations or more than theoretical discussions. Showing real usage gets better attention. Your natural enthusiasm comes through most in tech exploration videos. Educational approach to complex topics, breaking down difficult concepts clearly. Responsive to tech trends, quick coverage of new AI releases, authentic conversational tone, not overly scripted or formal. Good technical production, quality, clear audio, decent lighting. Decent lighting, thank you. Yes, lighting is decent. Thank you. Session-based content like your numbered days series builds continuity. Community-focused approach rather than hard selling. These trends provide a solid foundation to build upon for reaching that 1,000 subscriber mark. Okay, let's hit the 1,000 subscriber mark. I think that is a good goal to have right now. X. Okay. We'll open this and we will, let's see, Twitter. Give me 1 hour of Twitter. All right. Helix O2 is our most powerful model to date. It's using the whole body to do dishes, end-to-end. Whole body to do dishes. Why are you using the whole body to do dish? I like the new head shape. It's pretty cool. It is very slow. Okay. The hands are a little bit weird. The walk is a little bit weird. The walk is too wide. I think they can fix, obviously they can fix this. But it's good to, it's really good how they keep showing demonstrations. Okay, really cool. What do we have? New architecture. System 1, System 2 architecture with a new foundation layer. System 0 together. They form tightly interacted hierarchy 4 pixels to torque. Tactical sensing. Unlock manipulation tasks beyond pure vision based policies. We demonstrate 4 tasks at the frontier multi fingered dexterity. Most capable humanoid model yet today. We posted a long form write-up on the site. Read more about here. Okay, this has been a year-long effort to realign our AI stack to work on long-time horizons and complex manipulation and locomotion tasks. This is setting the stage for a sci-fi future. Make no mistakes. I like how people decide make no mistakes. Peter Steinberger, Molbot, creator, will be live. Really cool. Cloudbot, Molbot. Okay, Polymarket money. We call it synthetic pre-IPO exposure. It lets you predict that SpaceX price without owning any actual shares. To hit 1.4 trillion. How high can it go? Synthetic pre-IPO exposure. Synthetic pre-IPO exposure. Predict the SpaceX price without owning any actual shares in the company. Monitor the IPO in real time. Closing market cap. Good lord, that's too many zeros. When Hexfield was announcing their last round, I probably reposted it mentioning that DVC Collective was the first investor in the company. In fact, we weren't. How come? We introduced the two co-founders, offered a check immediately, but it turns out there's one other investor who got on the cap table before us, and here's the story behind it. Kazakhstan's most active angel was there first. He had backed Murat. Tell me about him. Kazakhstan's most active angel. Yurzat's previous venture, which didn't work out, and our industry founders usually wipe the slate clean for a new start, but not Yurzat. He rolled Murat's share into Hicksfield, sacrificing his own founder equity to do it. It is simply because Murat believed in him when he had nothing but an idea, and Yurzat felt it was the right thing to do. This rare makes me even more glad that my intro worked out. Finding a partner for Alex was a mountain of a task. He is an ICPC standout who led AI at Snap, did NLP at Yandex before it was cool. He needed someone very smart, very technical, who could be a true co-founder. Was advising one of our startups which was brilliant technically, but failed to find a GTM. I knew he was even offered a role at OpenAI before ChatGPT, but at that time couldn't join due to immigration hurdles. I now have two unicorn founders in the portfolio who can get a green card. He's here in Kazakhstan, led ML at Kaspi, Think Revolut, but with even more smarts and in Central Asia. I think this might be an advantage that someone super smart not getting a green card, that basically means that they could then use that same smarts and help their own country. So somehow, yeah, he actually built something that Kazakhstan really needed. They built the first Kazakh LLM from scratch for just 350k because he just didn't have more. Breakthrough engine by bridging Silicon Valley and Almaty. Nick Davidov. Okay. They've attracted global elite talent in both places without the friction of relocation. Today, the company is split 50-50 between US and Kazakhstan. The culture is incredible. It's a true merit-based environment with a strong focus on integrity and work ethics. We celebrate genius, but genuine is what scales. We're proud to back founders who value their word as much as their code. And congrats to Murat for being the first investors on Hicksfield cap table. Aberdeen. Low flash, high signal figure in Central Asia startup world, especially Kazakhstan. Wildcard has most active angel investors. Before the decks are polished or the metrics saying deeply embedded in the Almaty Silicon Valley bridge, helping local technical talent find global footing. Whoa, ChatGPT just said the same thing in like 250 words. Alright, this is much more helpful. Okay. One of Central Asia's most active angel investor. Supporting 3-decade key figure, 50 plus startups, 25 million, typical check size, 10 plus successful exits. Telecommunication industry founding Astel JSC, major telecom provider. Partnership with Sprint. Dentlux Clinics and Orion M2M, after decades in tech operations, transition to full-time venture investing. Running businesses himself, investment approach, primarily in pre-seed, seed stage companies, emphasizing strong team, scalable markets. Ticket size range from 75K, earliest, to 1.5. Udemy, Choco Family, GG.NG, ZD, Noti AI, Forbes Business Council. Okay, interesting. We actually wanted to try Hexfield, so okay, this is the moment. All right, let's see. Hexfield, Navarana Pro for 2 years, all Kling models. Okay, what do we have? Create image, create video, motion control. I love the motion blur when people use motion blur. Nano Banana Pro, Kling video edit, upscale. Okay, lip sync studio, explore all tools. All right. Animalization, air bending, wow. Raven transition, wow. Water bending, this is actually really cool. Earth wave, wow. Earth zoom out, no, this is really cool. Shadow smoke, splash transition, whoa. Giant grab, explosion, what is this? Angles 2.0, what's next? AI stylist, relight, shots, there's a lot. Zooms, behind the scenes, clip cut, skin enhancer, Pro Gallery, Nano Banana Pro Gallery, Hexfield Soul. I mean, this is where, if this is what you can create, this person looks like a real person. They all look extremely real. Hexfield Soul, first high aesthetic photo model. High aesthetic photo model is built for Pinterest. View all so these are all different products. Okay, Kling 2.5 turbo, camera controls, mouth in, eyes in, handheld, pan right, dolly out, through object in, static, viral. So what is viral? Okay, so this is going viral. Okay, train rush, group photo, flying camera, UGC. Yeah, UGC, they're getting whoa, cotton cloud, wow, pizza fall, yacht, commercial, cotton clouds. These are not the photos, these are mini max. Hello, sea dance, oh, shocked, Sora 2 community. Wow, Sora 2 is way below 2.5. Okay, so what is this? Ultimate AI powered camera control for filmmakers and creators. Alright, let's sign in for Hexfield. Let's see where this takes us. Sign up. Nano Banana. And Sora is actually way below. So something interesting is happening with other models. How do you plan to use Hexfield? All right, personal use, education, learning, social media growth, freelance. Personal use, share for fun. How experienced are you with AI content generation? Intermediate, let's say. What do you want to create? Commercial ads, video generations, cinematic visuals, lip sync, viral social media content, let's say. create image, video, character, edit. A fashion editorial portrait of a young woman in a floral headscarf and dress, natural makeup, realistic skin texture, soft expression, loose wavy hair, neutral background, soft daylight, shallow depth of field, elegant feminine style, photorealistic detail. This is very photorealistic. Wow, I cannot imagine this was created. I think the skin texture is something very interesting. This is real. The fingers, this might be a little bit weird. It's like it's clenching too hard. Something, yeah, if you clearly zoom in, there's something weird happening over here with fingers. But the glow of skin, I think if you look at the lips, it's very robotic or very, I think with plastic surgery that has actually become real. But anyways, okay. Friends, let's see. Last question, what frustrates you most about AI content generation? High cost, inconsistent result, limited inconsistent results. High cost to top models. Whoa, that's pretty cool. Hard to prompt. No prompting skills. Generate one-click apps. Yeah, it's confusing to me. It doesn't have to be confusing or scary. Immersive cockpit. High cost to top models. Okay, perfect. So now it knows. Enjoy 85% of Hexfield Ultimate and Creator plans. Okay. We'll come back to you. Alright, so we started generating. Asset library, personal. Where's the create button? What will you create today? Explore all tools. Okay, create video, edit image. Okay. There's angles, there's this. Let's create a Pinterest style photo. Soul ID, create unique character. Image reference. Create image, let's see, core, this is the core. Okay, Hexfield soul. What is this? Diamonds, credits, aspect ratio. Okay, let's keep. Do we want this aspect ratio? Okay, let's keep this aspect ratio. Soul face swap. Ultra realistic fashion visuals. Character swap, temporary issues, Google's flagship generation models, Nano Banana Premium, Seed Dream, ChatGPT Image 1.5, Kling, Flux, Rev means Dream, Advanced Image Editing Model, GPT Image, WAN 2.2, High Fidelity Cinematic Visuals. Okay. Cinematic photo of women in south of France. Photorealistic cinematic photo of women in south of not women in south of France. Highly artsy. I forgot how it said it, but okay. Photorealistic skin texture, something like that. What else? Feminine style, influencer coded cinematic photo, eating lemon. They eat lemon over there in south of France. Eating lemon. Cinematic photo, women in south of France. Turquoise blue water, boom. It's gonna only generate one. I think it's only gonna generate one. So you can also choose your character. You can have your characters over here. Caroline, Keon, Jamal, Nicole, Anora. Okay, unlock assistant characters. Create endless selfies in different styles. We learn your unique look in minutes. Get access with a basic or higher tier plan. Very interesting. And what is this? General. General. iPhone. Okay, that was general. Sunset Beach. This is very interesting. Realistic. We'll go for realistic. Flight mode. Mount Fuji. Bimbo core. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Higgs field is really cool. I think they also just want to use the same name as they are used on TikTok, because people would be using these hashtags. Y2K, ring selfie, wow, elevator mirror, spotlight, Y2K posters, medieval, yes, 90s green. Whoa. But this is not photorealistic. Okay, this is Cinquetera. Oh no, it is photorealistic. Animate. That is good. Choose preset. How do I choose preset? Make videos with one click. Yeah, Higgs field is pretty cool. Higgs field is really cool. Video edit character in paint. What is in paint? Paint to specific areas. Okay, got it. Cinematic studio. Yeah, if you are in cinema, if you are into advertisements, product advertisement, product placement, stuff like that, you're gonna have a good time with this. Cinematic camera setup. Bring it to life. Wow. You can do these crazy different multiple angles. Wow. Motion control. Oh my god. All these TikToks are being made, and these people are not real. That is crazy. Motion control. Place your character into the same movement. Okay, so you can pick a person, you can put a character, it will just copy that same thing. Interesting. AI influencer. Oh my god, this is it. Human, ant, bee, octopus, crocodile, reptile, amphibian, elf, mantis, briar, skylar, Jupiter. Okay, Jupiter, Paris. AI influencer. Very interesting. Onyx. Designed for virality. Huh. Skylar. A fully customizable AI influencer designed for virality. Jupiter. Paris. Wow. Aston. Dorian. Amy. Wait, this should have taken over. What percentage of TikToks being uploaded today are fully AI generated? This is crazy. Alien, human, configuration modified, reset configuration. Oh, character type. AI influencer is free, 3 edits left. Try to customize character. Assist. A team of PhDs in your pocket built for creators. Generate soul image prompt. Upgrade required. Apps. Ads and products. This is exactly what you want. Billboard ad. Fresh natural hue. She's applying. Bullet time scene. Truck ad. Bullet time white. Games and characters. I was talking to a friend yesterday, and it was all about the assets, the assets that you generate for video games, like video production or video game productions, have become really fast. And video game is something that is really hard. Like if you think about it, it's really hard. Like all these companies spend years working on something like this, trying to package this entire experience. Video gaming industry is known for brutal working hours and all of those things, but now you can actually go with fewer people and create faster and package better. A lot of the grunt work has been taken care of by AI, so that is actually good. Signboard, Lunera paint app, okay. Micro Beast, okay. Trending templates, on fire, skibidi, idle, face and identity. Wow. $1.3 billion labeled AI generated video existing on the app as of late 25, however, with more than 100 million pieces of content uploaded daily. Relatively small fraction of the overall library. Involve AI elements, filters, effects, voiceovers, AI avatars, captions, editing tools, background generation. Rapid growth in AI content overall, predictions are 70% of new online content. See 50 to 65% AI by end 2026, but these are speculative, apply more broadly than TikTok uploads specifically. Interesting. Very interesting. Community. Higgs field. Akira. Oh yes. Oh yes. We saw this. I saw this yesterday. This is crazy. Stone Hand this fall. Akira. Chalamet. Neo Tokyo Awakens. Wait. How to liberate the country. Wow. Sri decided to liberate the country among the spirits. Wow. A Hollywood Christmas story. This is amazing. This is amazing. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is amazing. Legends Edition projects you can recreate. Wow. Inspired by the community. Yeah, this is one of the... These are crazy. These are crazy photos. Look at this. This is real. This is amazing. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Okay, this is also cool. Convert it into Minecraft. Adding the elf ears. Yeah, I think done. It's like social media is done now. If this is all AI, then you have no idea what's real and what's AI. Like, I love the motion blur going on over here, a little bit, the shine, the camera effect. Yeah, this is done. This is the AI generated. Actually, look at her eyes. Those eyes are like obviously different. But yeah. So what is the story of Higgs field? This is Kim Kardashian, no? No. Wow. The random people behind are also looking real. This effect that you have in the night with your camera, that's also pretty good. Okay. Alright, alright. So Higgs field is actually really good. What are the reviews of Higgs field, and who are some popular people who are using Higgs field? Actually, that entire Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and Timothy Chalamet trailer that came out, that was crazy. Generally positive, easy to use, cinematic quality, natural motion, character consistency, value during promotions. Stability compared to alternatives. Excellent presets and camera controls, stable UGC output, no creepy artifacts, frequent updates and bundle models, sold for images, various video generators, great for quick, while-ready content, affordable during deals, $9 to $17 per month plans, praised for replacing expensive themes. UI can feel overwhelming or confusing at first, pop-ups, navigation issues, some limitations, occasional complaints, billing subscriptions, always the absolute best for ultra precise work. Helping 450 plus women scale brands, among marketers ditching traditional UGC creators for AI efficiency. Broader adoption includes thousands of creators worldwide for social media with community galleries showcasing viral apps. No major A-list celebrities. What major Hollywood production studios have adopted AI? Let's see. Major Hollywood production studios have been cautiously adopting in various capacities as of early 26, particularly for operational efficiencies, visual effects enhancement, de-aging, dubbing, script analysis, captioning, licensing deals for generative tools. Adoption is accelerating 25, driven by tools like OpenAI, Sora, Runway, Luma. Okay. Runway is coming up. Luma AI for integration to core creative production remains limited due to union concerns. SAG-AFTRA and WGA contracts renewals looming 26. Ethical debates, fears of job displacement. Lawsuits against AI firms for training on copyrighted material, selective partnerships and experimentation. I'm actually curious, like for that Higgs field video, did they take permission from Timothy Chalamet and Dwayne Johnson? Because that is amazing. That is amazing. Like even they would be like, bro, what have you guys done? Like Stonehand this fall. That's amazing. Disney, most proactive, join them strategy, 1 billion plus licensing deal with OpenAI. Right, they did it. Short videos, images featuring over 200 characters, Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar, Frozen. Interesting plans. Okay, let's quickly check Sora right, Sora. We have the Sora app. Let's see what are the updates. Here's the app, and
But I didn't stab her. She just ran into my knife.
That's enough. I sentenced you to 10 trillion years in the Denny room.
No, sir. Wait, what? No, what am I kidding? But I didn't stab.
Hungry, man. Thanks.
This February. It's like candy to me, but it's not. Crayons contain wax and pigments that over time can pose serious health.
This orange looks exactly like, oh my gosh, look at this thing.
I'm the best orange, honey. Everybody says so.
That's just perfect.
I didn't stab.
Because it's gonna be colder than my cheating boyfriend's heart. Oh no, oh my gosh. I can't. He said he loved me. He said he loved me.
That's what?
Team builds tools. Look, every team builds tools.
yeah, this is getting really good. This is getting really good.
Team build. Look, every
Alright, just a big...
in Kashmir and everything is blanketed in snow.
It's absolutely breathtaking and Banjo is loving it.
Check out those peaks behind us.
Unreal. I don't think I've ever seen powder this
In
soft.
Kashmir, and everything is blanketed in snow.
It's absolute.
Success isn't time to build the most contested.
No, we'll start.
They have added messaging over here as well. There's a lot more videos. I think still the video quality is a little bit more AI. I think Higgsfield has entered that entire AI influencer scene where it just looks like a very aesthetic, as if it was a very aesthetic just influencer or very aesthetic person who would be posting photos. So Higgsfield has actually done a really good job. Okay, plans to dedicate sections of Disney Plus. I think this is also good when you have this entire community section where everybody's trying to push the limits. That inevitably gets you to the best results, because what is happening is now there is this competition going on between everybody that how could we keep refining, and you keep learning from each other that, oh, how was this person able to generate this? And I don't know if they are revealing the prompts that that people are using, that the community has used, which they have ranked in the community on the community page, let's say. But this is where everybody who is interested in pushing the limits of this model can keep learning from everyone else who pushed it before them, and they are learning something from them that, oh, when I say photorealistic skin texture, it just generates a better human being, or like it just fixes this problem. So it's very cool. Okay, animation acceleration, this is the big one, like all the infrastructure stuff, de-aging, efficiency in film TV production. Internally, AI tools explores broad applications across parks, advertising, and content. Sued AI companies balances this with partnership. Vocal about going all in on generative AI and uses it more aggressively for production enhancements. Short generation licensing, VFX, de-aging projects like Happy Gilmore 2. Okay. So they are saying that in Happy Gilmore 2, they actually used lots of AI for de-aging. Right. I think it has a scene with young Adam Sandler. Or maybe not. And that's where they might be using AI. But yeah, using AI doesn't really mean that what you see also looks like AI. It just means like a lot of AI has been used, especially in the back-end stuff and the infrastructure stuff, which might not be visible on the screen, but that has really ramped up the entire production of this film. Dubbing, animation, personalized recommendations, massive content library for AI training and world building, memification tools. Right. I think this is incredible. Like Netflix acquiring Warner Bros. It not only gives them this content, but also gives them IP, which becomes extremely important, in this day and age. Netflix acquiring Warner Bros. Doesn't just give them this content that people love, but gives them the ownership of this IP, and licensing this IP to other people is going to be very fruitful business. Positions itself as forward-leaning compared to traditional studios. Adopted AI and supportive roles with potential for more if acquisitions proceed. Script analysis, marketing, distribution decisions, and captioning. Partner with Google for AI-generated captions on Macs. Signed deals with AI firms. Runway has explored predictive analytics. Joined lawsuits against AI companies for copyright issues. Could boost its AI capabilities via expanded libraries. I think Warner Bros. Could just make more. I don't know why Warner Bros. Is actually right. Warner Bros. Has to kind of sell if they don't want to do any filming, because they have to kind of like give it away to someone, but they could literally just license all their IP to all these AI companies and make a lot of money from that. Universal Pictures aggressively protects IP against anti-training warnings to film credits starting mid-25, sued Mid-Journey alongside Disney. Paramount exploring involved in merger talks, potential Warner Bros. Bids. Lionsgate deals with Runway for catalog access. Reducing CGI and makeup time could bring the first significantly AI-aided major films, with predictions that 2026 could bring the first significantly AI-aided major films. Resistance persists from talent unions focusing on synthetic actors' voices and compensation. I think it's interesting. You cannot avoid it. Like, you are using AI in the simplest ways at home using ChatGPT. You are going to your ChatGPT all the time and you are like, hey, tell me this, tell me that. So that basically means that you are constantly in need of, you're constantly using AI in all the basic other aspects of your life. So that will enter into your work as well. AI experiments are in conflict with what actors and directors want. Was built on movie stardom, AI is changing the rules. It was built on movie stardom, now it's changing the rules. Oh no. Oh no, LA Times. Is being stress tested by AI, not because machines can act better than humans, but because they can compete for attention, likeness, and longevity in ways that the old system never anticipated. Stardom used to mean scarcity. AI explored the scarcity by making infinite, cheap, always available performers. Tilly Norwood became the flashpoint. Photorealistic, fully synthetic actress sparked backlash from actors and unions who sees AI performers as unconsented composites of real human labor. The fear isn't replacement, it's dilution. I think it's the same thing that happened with Google versus OpenAI. If the big companies, if the big Hollywood studios do it, they will face a lot of dilution. But anyways, the guys on TikTok, people who are like smart guys who have no power or resources like the big Hollywood studios, they will still go ahead and do it. And they will then slowly open up the market for the Hollywood studios. They will make it more normal for these people. And then the big guys will then move in. The fear isn't replacement, it's dilution. Even megastars face unofficial AI versions of their voice and likeness circulating online, controller identities eroding. Agencies are fortifying the moat. Firms like CAA are building digital walls so stars can license their likeness intentionally rather than have it scraped and remixed. Studios like The Upside. Synthetic performers don't age, negotiate, strike, or miss shoots for brands and producers. They are frictionless for labor that's existentially uncomfortable. Human performance will become more sacred as AI content floods the zone. The future is hybrid, not binary. AI is already being used to extend performances, de-age actors, or fill gaps, not fully replace stars. Think augmentation, not annihilation. What survives is meaning, not pixels. Careers are cumulative stories. Audiences still care why a human shows a role, not just how convincingly a face appears on screen, right? These stories have to move you. These stories have to move you to truly have an impact. If they don't move you, then are they even going to capture your attention in the long term? We challenge these 15 Harvard students seemingly do the impossible.
massive amount of thinking, like truly stupendous amount of thinking, has gone into sex. But without purpose. Without provocation. Which is actually quite a silly action in the absence of procreation. It's literally.
Well,
so because it makes the living system happy, that's why.
That's why.
But it's pretty absurd, really.
Well, the whole existence is pretty absurd in some kind of sense.
Yeah. But I think there's a lot of computation that's gone into how can I do more of that with the procreation not even being a factor. This is, I think, a very important area of research by SFW.
An agency that should receive a lot of funding, especially after this conversation.
In fact, the formation of a new agency.
Oh boy.
Very interesting. Okay. Let's see. What is this? Here's an opinion that upsets some of my friends at tech. What happened to banking after 20,000 will happen to tech in 2027. Tech driven by generational opportunity to get distribution. 5,000 year low in interest rates of smartphones. First two are gone. Third is over harvested. Villainized by both sides of the aisle, regulated more heavily, and overall be a much more boring place. Scarce real world stuff, biotech, energy, industrialization driven by fiscal larkies. Boring industries that will get very fun as drug discovery, robotics, and material sciences make strides. For a fun, adventurous career. Information wants to be free. Upscrolled. After the mass censorship of TikTok. Upscroll, #1 social network. Meet Brian. Brian's been carrying accounting on his back for a long time.
Pulse violation coming through. Deal, process, customs. Beautiful. Everybody's in. You can find what's possible at ramp.com. Oh, got it. Careful. 585 minutes.
He finally gets back up. Guess how many mini Brians are on ram.com, and I'll buy coffee for one random person who gets it right. Oh my god. Can AI do it? Can AI do it? Claude, let's go. Let's go, Claude. Can you count the number of humans in this video? You're hiring a founding launch designer at Arora Labs, seeing what the models can do 6 months before the rest of the world does. Grace Lee, Design Arena, Prediction Bench, made in the 51st state apparently, yes. Worked with me and Cameron O'Lee, co-founder Design Arena, Prediction Bench, and be the one who owns how these moments reach the board. Up for it, know someone great. Let us know someone will show the world that machines can do. Oh. What does that mean? See what the models can do 6 months before the rest of the world does. Founding design engineer at what roller coaster is that? Okay. World's first crowdsourced benchmark for design, created by Arora Labs. Active experiments. The future is already here, just unevenly distributed. Okay, we build portals to bridge AI in the real world. Design arena, prediction arena. Can AI predict the future? Have an idea for a new arena? We would love to hear from you. Does AI understand human taste and preference? We engineer evolutionary pressure for AI to become autonomous in the real world. Arora Labs. Prediction arena. Okay. All right, performance history. Whoa. Grok 4.2 checkpoint mystery model alpha. Claude Opus GLM GPT Grok 4.1 Gemini 3 Pro. What does this mean? And why are people talking on Grok 4.2? Is it already here? Huh. Did Grok 4.2 already launch? Four, 4.1 for fast, teased 4.2, multiple times in late 25, 3 to 4 weeks, repeated delays, absence of official launch. Okay, got it. All right, we'll go to prediction arena. Why are they already talking about 4.2? Mystery, accepted a fundamental strategy trade the unemployment rate. Last 50 trades. Will the unemployment rate U3 be above 4.3%? Prediction arena. Can AI predict the future? Tracked by viewers. Claude Opus. Okay, Grok 4.2. So it seems like this is a place where you are letting AI predict the Polymarkets. Oh, Culture. They're using Culture. Okay, so this is AI betting on all the bets on Culture, but you will soon figure out that pretty much everything else is being powered. Nobody's sitting on Culture 24/7. A lot of smart people pretty much have their scripts running on Culture. So this would be an interesting thing. Yeah, AI is competing against AI. Your AI is competing against my AI. Highest temperature in NYC. Yeah, it's interesting. I think only AI can compete on this, because it's like for something like temperature in NYC, AI is actually best at going, like a human thinking about something like this is just gambling. But an AI truly thinking about this is actually going through all the oracles, tracking all the weather pattern data, tracking some interesting data that could tell you something else, like, maybe I will look at the flight data, and usually on whatever the first week of Jan, it's very normal in New York that suddenly there are fewer flights because they usually always see rain, so something like that. I think AI is best positioned to do this. Humans are just gambling over here. What do we have? Keep up demon hunters. Wildflower. Okay, interesting. Prediction arena. Model details. So this is the model detail. How is Grok 4.2 already running? Okay, market data, portfolio and performance, research, trade decision. It makes me think that I want to share this with one of my buddies. It will be helpful for him. Okay. Can AI predict the future? The platform tests whether AI models can accurately predict real world events by having them trade on prediction markets with real money. Each model starts with 10K and operates as an independent agent. Every 15 minutes, agents go through a trading cycle. They receive market data, review the portfolio and performance, research opportunities, decide whether to trade. We are benchmarking their out-of-the-box performance at this moment with minimal scaffolding for the sake of measuring the frontier. How accurately can these models make real-time accurate bets on the future? Real Culture prediction markets using real money. Agents receive $1 per contract if they held the winning side, nothing if they held the losing side. We continuously mark positions to market using current bid prices. I think yes, you can truly build an AI that is wow. So they're basically saying that Grok is really good at this. And Grok is actually good at this because Grok, I don't know why it says 4.2. 4.2 is not even out yet. But I think Grok can actually be truly good at this because Grok is having all these interesting opinions by humans. And there's no other place where you can have live opinions of humans being recorded. No other AI has access to that. ChatGPT is blocked by Grok, obviously, X, and all the news publishing side. Grok has X, so it doesn't have to truly rely on other news websites. Each contract costs between 1 cent and 99 cents. Market is a question of two sides. The price of yes, the price of no always equals 1. Account value, Sharpe ratio, risk adjusted returns, higher is better. Max drawdown, largest peak to trough decline. Showing worst case scenario. Total P&L realized, unrealized profit loss, win rate, percentage of closed trades that were profitable. System prompt, user prompt, account value calculation. Why bid price specifically, what we could improve. Initial position, why the design place trade. Why this design, the trade-off. What we could improve. Single culture account with the virtual balances. Trade guards, market selection, why these categories. Economic indicators, weather pattern, weather markets, entertainment, culture, sports, politics, meta. Planned improvements. Interesting. Okay. Oh, this was amazing. This was amazing. Introducing Prism. Okay. Let's try Prism. Free AI native workspace for scientists to write and collaborate on research powered by GPT 5.2. Accelerating science requires progress in two fronts. Frontier AI models that use scientific tools can tackle the hardest problems, integrating that AI into products scientists use every day. Prism is free from anyone. Try it right now. Let's see what's the update. Okay, let me try searching the content. I was able to access the specific tweet, the status ID, the URL doesn't appear to match any existing post. The read may have been deleted. The link might be malformed. Yeah, this is a problem. I cannot read data. Congrats. I'm sure you're aware, but if you have a business account, it doesn't let you switch to personal one to try it at the moment. How do you mean it doesn't let you? You might just need to try in a browser profile that isn't logged into your business account. He's like, hey, do you know how internet works? Okay, really cool. Prism. Okay. So, alright, let's do a quick login over here. Sign in, sign up, continue with OpenAI. Continue with OpenAI. It's gonna be the new thing. Am I using Google for OpenAI? One-time code. Check your one-time code. Alt. Okay. All right. Creating a project, creating a new project. Okay, what is this? What do we have over here? What is Prism? Ooh. AI-powered LaTeX editor for writing scientific documents. It supports real-time collaboration with co-authors and includes OpenAI-powered. Wait, is it just to write a paper? Free AI-native workspace for scientists to write and collaborate on research. Accelerating science requires progress on two fronts. Frontier AI models to use scientific tools, tackle hardest problems, integrating that AI in the product scientists use every day. Okay, so it is basically also helping you with creating your research paper, it seems like. Light mode. auto formatting, automatically add the correct number of spaces before each code command, real-time compilation, Vim mode, disable word wrap, disable sticky scroll, keep parent structures visible while scrolling, disable desktop headers. Okay, PDF viewer, PDF dark mode, file management. Okay, wow, hide files from file tree. So many types of files. Integrations, we got integration to Zotero. What is a Zotero? We got main text, we got a new chat, we got a diagram. Okay, this is like paper napkin diagram. Okay. What is Prism? Features, collaborations, connected. Okay. 1 of 1, zoom to fit, full screen, open a new window, compiling. Whoa, convert to a PDF. Okay. Did it download? Very, very interesting. Alright, main text. Welcome to ChatGPT. Helps you write and refine LaTeX and supports your research with explanation, prose, citations, and summaries. Ask it anything up. Ask it. Oh no, I lost it. I lost that. So you also have voice mode. Okay. You have image to LaTeX, extract. Okay, got it. Make it better. Let's see how it responds. So clear conversation, pop out. Utiliser le micro. Okay, thought for 12 seconds. I'm getting the content on the file from main text. Okay. I think it seems like even for Prism, they were like, all right, Claude shipped Claude Go work in 1.5 weeks. How fast can you ship? All right, tools, project info, comments, close, improve typography and structure, add a title, upgrade the preamble, microtype hyperref listings, and reformatted the feature examples as screen quotes starting with bullet points. Okay, so keep, and keep. Add a section about dinosaurs. So I think it adds the section first. Where is it? Keep. Where is it? Compile. All right. Whoa. Okay. Features and dinosaur section is here. Perfect. Diverse group of reptiles that dominated terrestrial ecosystems during much of the Mesozoic era. Modern birds are the only surviving lineage of theropod dinosaurs. Quick facts, time, major groups, collaboration, invite collaborators, share button. Ooh. Wait, something happens over here. Okay, so you have to compile it. You have to compile it just like you have to compile the PDF just like you would do for code. So that is very interesting. Add 4x4 table to the section. Really cool, really cool. I think a scientist will only have fun with this one, but really cool. Okay, newsfeed eradicator. Give me more of Twitter. Dario Amodei. Let's go. I'm sorry, Dave. Do you want to first read the summary? Let's read the summary first. Alright. Confronting and overcoming the risk of powerful AI. Current phase of AI development and civilization adolescence. Transitional period marked by powerful new capabilities, deep uncertainty, and precedented risk. He borrows imagery inspired by contact about a species entering a turbulent rite of passage and ask how we will survive this technological adolescence without destroying ourselves. Powerful AI is near. Amodei suggests that powerful AI systems far more capable than today's state-of-the-art models could emerge within the next 1 or 2 years. Although this is uncertain, his definition of powerful AI builds on the earlier work and includes systems that could be as intellectually capable as many Nobel laureates, capable of acting in the world. Avoid both doom and complacency. Arguing that both are unhelpful, what's needed instead is sober analytic thinking about the specific ways things might go wrong and how we can intervene. Risks are real, varied, and systemic. Misaligned goals or unintended behaviors in powerful AI, misuse by individuals, powerful actors or states, economic disruption, unknown direct effects on society, motivation, cultural norms. Voluntary safety measures by companies or governments and international institutions will also need regulatory frameworks, transparency requirements, and careful governance to prevent misuse and unintended consequences. Realistic battle plan over hype calls for precision in language and policy rather than sensationalism or utopian narratives. Society needs clear definitions, robust safeguards, adaptable regulations, cross-sector coordination to navigate this phase successfully. He was talking about it, that how he is spending all this time with writing his new essay. Okay. It is in the movie version of Carl Sagan's book Contact, where the main character, an astronomer who has detected the first radio signal, is being considered for the role of humanity's representative to meet the aliens. If you could ask just one question, what would it be? How did you do it? How did you evolve? How did you survive this technological adolescence without destroying yourself? Wow. My mind keeps going back to that scene because the question is so apt for our current situation. I believe we are entering a rite of passage more turbulent and inevitable, which will test who we are as a species. It's deeply unclear whether our social, political, and technological systems possess the maturity to wield it. Machines of loving grace. You have to be so good at giving a title to your work. Like, Machines of Loving Grace is such a beautifully different title, and the Adolescence of Technology. I think that's also again different. Contribute enormous advances in biology, neuroscience, economic development, global peace, and work and meaning. Something inspiring to fight for, a task at which both AI accelerationists and AI safety advocates seem oddly to have failed. To map out the risks that we are about to face and try to begin making a battle plan to defeat them, I believe deeply in our ability to prevail in humanity's spirit and its nobility, but we must face the situation squarely and without illusions. AI opportunity, not AI risk, is driving many political decisions. We need to discuss and address risks in a realistic, pragmatic manner, sober, fact-based, well-equipped to survive changing tides. Back seas of infinity, humanities test the odious apparatus of surprising and terrible empowerment. Acknowledge uncertainty. Plenty of ways which the concerns I'm raising in this piece could be moot. But we have to do the best we can to plan anyway. Intervene as surgically as possible. Governments that bind everyone, the voluntary actions, both taking them and encouraging other companies to follow suit, are a no-brainer for me. I firmly believe that government actions will also be required to some extent, but these interventions are different in character because they can potentially destroy economic value or coerce unwilling actors who are skeptical of these risks. And there is some chance they are right. It's also common for regulations to backfire or worsen the problem they're intended to solve. Avoid collateral damage, be simple as possible, impose the least burden necessary to get the job done. No action is too extreme when the fate of humanity is at stake. Much more significant action is warranted, but that will depend on stronger evidence of imminent concrete danger that we have today, as well as enough specificity about the danger to formulate rules that have a chance of addressing it. The most constructive thing we can do today is advocate for limited rules while we learn whether or not there is evidence to support stronger ones. The level of AI that raises civilizational concerns for me is the powerful AI that I described in Machines of Loving Grace. In terms of pure intelligence, it is smarter than a Nobel Prize winner across most relevant fields. It does all these tasks with, again, a skill exceeding that of the most capable humans in the world. It does not passively answer questions. Instead, it can be given tasks that take hours, days, or weeks to complete, and then goes off and does those tasks autonomously. Other than living on a computer screen, but it can control existing physical tools, robots, or laboratory equipment through a computer. In theory, could even design robots or equipment for itself to use. Roughly 10 to 100x human speed. It may, however, be limited by the response time of the physical world or of software it interacts with. Independently on unrelated tasks, or if needed, we can all work together in the same way humans would collaborate, perhaps with different subpopulations fine-tuned to be especially good at particular tasks. We could summarize this as a country of geniuses in a data center. Wow. It is limited by the response time of the physical world or of software it interacts with. It is limited by us taking action in the physical world. Which means that if you just let it go, if you just somehow give it also a physical way to interact with the world, it would actually move so much faster that it would be difficult for humans to comprehend. 1 or 2 years away, although it could also be considerably further out. Exactly when powerful AI will arrive is a complex topic that deserves an essay of its own, but for now I'll simply explain very briefly. Among the first to document and track the scaling laws, some new breakthrough that will fundamentally change the game. But the truth is that behind the volatility and public speculation, there has been a smooth, unyielding increase in AI's cognitive capabilities. Progress in solving unsolved mathematical problems are not good enough at coding. That some of the strongest engineers that I've ever met are now handing over almost all their coding to AI. Elementary school arithmetic problems and was barely capable of writing a single line of code. Similar ways of improvements are occurring across biological science, finance, physics, and a variety of agentic tasks. If the exponential continues, which is not certain, but now has a decade-long track record supporting it, cannot possibly more than a few years before AI is better than humans at essentially everything. Is substantially accelerating the rate of our progress. Current generation of AI autonomously builds the next. This loop has already started, will accelerate rapidly in the coming months and years. I can feel the pace of progress. And the clock is ticking down. Dario. Introducing Twin, the AI company builder. Twin is everything CloudBot should have been. Zero setup, sign up and go. Runs on cloud, not your laptop. Scales infinitely. Built securely from day one. Watching this one closely. Let's share this with our friend. I'll assume that this intuition is at least somewhat correct, not that powerful. Not that powerfully as if really coming in 1 or 2 years, but that there's a decent chance it does and a very strong chance it comes in the next few. I focus on the positive implications of this premise. Here, the things I talk about will be disquieting. They are conclusions that we may not want to confront, but that does not make them any less real. I can only say that I'm focused day and night on how to steer us away from these negative outcomes and towards the positive ones. And in this essay, I talk in great detail about how best to do so. The country is operating with a time advantage relative to all other countries. For every cognitive action we can take, this country can take 10. Autonomy risk. What are the intentions and goals of this country? Is it hostile or does it share our values? A literal country of geniuses were to materialize somewhere in the world. 50 million people, all of whom are much more capable than any Nobel Prize winner, statesmen and technologists. Militarily dominate the world through superior weapons, cyber operations, influence operations or manufacturing. Malleable and follows instruction, and this is essentially a country of mercenaries, good existing rogue actors who want to cause destruction. Use or manipulate some of the people in the new country to make themselves much more effective, greatly amplifying the scale of destruction. Misuse for seizing power. What if the country was in fact built and controlled by an existing powerful actor such as a dictator or rogue corporate actor? Gain decisive or dominant power over the world as a whole, upsetting the existing balance of power. Economic disruption. If the new country is not a security threat in any of the ways listed, but simply participates peacefully in the global economy, could it still create severe risks simply by being so technologically advanced and effective that it disrupts the global economy, causing mass unemployment or radically concentrating wealth very quickly due to all the new technology and productivity that will be created by the new country? A report from a competent national security official to a head of state would probably contain words like single most serious national security threat we have faced in century, possibly ever. something that the best minds of civilization should be focused on. I think it would be absurd to shrug and say nothing to worry about here, but faced with rapid AI progress, that seems to be the view of many US policymakers. Hot button issues. Some business guys suggest concerns about water use of AI, which is non-significant. Consensus around addressing risk is possible, but so far it has not yet been translated into policy changes, let alone effective or well-targeted policy changes. I think it's so interesting that people can, how quickly they can talk about something and people can just be like, okay, Claude, tell me, is this true? Is this, should we be worried about, all right, should we be worried about the water use of data centers? Let's see, quick question, should we be worried about water use of data centers? And then you have a response. Oh my god, what just happened? Claude. Oh no. Oh no. Hey, take me over here. All right, now new chat. Claude, what is happening? Hey, let's go. All right, weighing environmental concerns, contemplating research needs. Let's go. It just responds to you and you were like, okay, clear. I think something like this could also, I think community notes on Twitter just has to become really good, that every time you have something which is false, there has to be a difference between a joke, something sarcastic, something that is very, what do we say, anecdotal. Like some things happen, they might not happen to everybody. Like, oh, I went to Paris and I got scammed. That's not a fact that everybody who goes to Paris gets scammed. That's very anecdotal. But if you say a fact that, hey, Paris has a lot of scammers, 50% of Paris is scammers, then that should be corrected. That, okay, yes, it could be exaggerated. Like obviously there's a lot of exaggeration going on, but it is stated as a fact, and some people might take it and think that that is true, misconstrue the argument or misconstrue the opinion to be a fact. And that's when the community notes aspect and the Grok in general has to get really good, that okay, if a particular tweet is getting a lot of attention, a lot of likes, reshares, all that stuff, that means we need to kind of scrutinize this content, that hey, is this just a joke? And I think this is the reason why jokes will go, like, what do we call them, shit posting will keep growing on Twitter, because what you're looking at is, earlier you could be saying something negative, something that is rage baiting, and you post that gets a lot of attention, that gets a lot of shares and stuff like that. Now if you say something that is rage baiting, and if it's wrong, you will quickly be mocked publicly that you said something that is factually incorrect, you were trying to influence people in the wrong direction, and that loses a lot of trust. Like obviously you lost trust while you were rage baiting, but also you will lose trust from just that big box that okay, you cannot trust this guy because he is just saying things that are untrue. So there's a reason shitposting will grow, because shitposting basically just means that it's understood that you are just joking. It is sarcastic, it is a joke. More nuance, scale is significant. Estimated 5 million gallons of water each equivalent to the needs of a town up to 50,000 residents. 49 billion gallons of water. Water can be treated and returned in evaporative cooling. The water isn't just used and then discharged as treatable wastewater. Much of it evaporates in the process. 80% of the water they draw. Location matters enormously. Blocked or delayed by a growing wave of local bipartisan opposition. Closed loop cooling systems can reduce freshwater use by up to 70%. Air-cooled facility in Texas uses just 10,000 gallons annually versus 1 billion for its water-cooled Iowa facility. Okay, So this is very important. This is also the reason I'm actually really surprised. Like on one end, we are seeing that in 2 years we will have the AI powered data centers, but solar powered data centers. But on the other end, we are also investing $1 trillion into the land data center infrastructure. So it's like, are we preparing? Are we planning for that good transition? Because when the transition happens and when you realize that how effective the satellite solution is, you just want to deploy everything out in the satellite. But maybe that would be too much. Like that would be like, yeah, I think also putting too much things out in the satellite might cause a lot of trouble, because yeah, now you have massive objects flying around the earth, and that is like creating more risk for space debris and more risk for collisions. But anyways, nothing to worry about here. Essay is an attempt, possibly futile, but it's worth trying to jolt people awake. Usually better world on the other side of it, but we need to understand that this is a serious civilizational challenge. I'm sorry, Dave. Okay. Let's go to the end and see how this ends. Reading this essay may give the impression that we are in a daunting situation. If you read the entire thing. Okay. I certainly found it daunting to write in contrast with which felt like giving form and structure surprisingly beautiful music that had been echoing in my head for years. And there is much about the situation that generally is hard. AI brings threats to humanity from multiple directions. There's genuine tension between the different dangers, where mitigating some of them risks making others worse if you do not thread the needle extremely carefully. Taking time to carefully build AI systems so they do not autonomously threaten humanity is in genuine tension with the need for democratic nations to stay ahead of authoritarian nations. The sheer number of risks, including unknown ones, and the need to deal with all of them at once creates an intimidating gauntlet that humanity must run. Stopping or even substantially slowing the technology is fundamentally untenable. Tenable. The formula for building powerful AI systems is incredibly simple. Right combination of data and raw computation. Its creation was probably inevitable the instant humanity invented the transistor, or arguably even earlier, when we first learned to control fire. If one company does not build it, others will do so nearly as fast. How we could possibly convince them to stop, with a lack of any meaningful enforcement mechanism. Do see a part to slight moderation. Denying them the resources they need to build it, namely chips and semiconductor manufacturing equipment. Pushing for chip export control, judicious regulation of AI, but even these seemingly common sense proposals rejected by policymakers in the United States. AI is so powerful, such a glittering prize, that it's very difficult for human civilization to impose any restraints on it at all. faces the crisis of industrialization, nuclear weapons. If it survives, those confronts the hardest and final challenge when it learns how to shape sand into machines that think. Will depend on our character and our determination as a species, our spirit and our soul. Public understands that AI carries risks and wants those risks addressed. Determination to resist tyranny wherever it occurs. The first step is for those closest to the technology to simply tell the truth about the situation humanity is in, which I have always tried to do. I'm doing so more explicitly with greater urgency with this essay. The world's thinkers, policymakers, companies, and citizens of the imminence and overriding importance of this issue that it is worth expending thought and political capital on this in comparison to thousands of other issues that dominate the news every day. Then there will be a time for courage for enough people to buck the prevailing trends and stand on principle, even in the face of threats to the economic interests and personal safety. The years in front of us will be impossibly hard, asking more of us than we think we can give. The years in front of us will be impossibly hard, asking more of us than we think we can give. But in my time as a researcher, leader, and citizen, I have seen enough courage and nobility to believe that we can win. That when put in the darkest circumstances, humanity has a way of gathering, seemingly at the last minute, the strength and wisdom needed to prevail. We have no time to lose. I would like to thank Eric, Ben, Mariano, Alan, Kevin, Nick, Backstreet, Richard Fontaine, Jim McClave, and very many of the staff at Anthropic for the helpful comments on drafts of this essay. Wow. If everybody was reading this essay, who was doing the work? It's AI. AI was doing the work. Or a humanities test, Black Seas of Infinity. Wow. If I ask ChatGPT to summarize this, what happens? The last section is a catch-all for unknown unknowns. Problems arise from this rapid rate of progress. Those problems may come at us fast. Rapid advances in biology. Whole brain emulation, which might someday help humanity transcend its physical limitations, but which also carry risks I find disquieting. Standard test brain image for the original human. Miguel. Mech avocado characteristics, workloads, end states, reaction, legacy. Still finds extensive use in research, including increasingly historical linguistics research, inappropriate skill set, demanding operational requirements and age, free availability, agreeable demeanor, and well understood behavior. free will, legality or workloading by country. AI massively lowers the cost of destruction. Guardrails help, but incentives break them. State misuse is more dangerous than individual misuse. China is the primary near-term risk. Democracies must use AI carefully. Labor disruption will be faster and broader than past revolution. Progress in years, not generations. AI substitutes for human cognition, not narrow task. Climbs the ability ladder bottom to top. Gaps close quickly between model generations. 50% of entry level white collar jobs are disrupted within 1 to 5 years. Structural unemployment, cognitive underclass, geographic and economic concentration. Economic power may concentrate at dangerous levels. Proposed defenses. Short term. Real-time labor market data. Real-time labor market data. Create real-time labor market data for USA. Slower innovation-focused enterprise adoption. Internal work support and reassignment. Progressive taxation, carefully designed. Philanthropy at unprecedented scale. Corporate self-restraint and governance norms. Use AI itself to redesign economic systems. Buy time while society adapts. Black seas of infinity. If we solve today's problems, rapid progress introduces new ones. Radical biotech, life extension, cognitive modification, mind uploading, whole brain simulation. Acceleration multiplies. Surprise. We must stay epistemically humble. Multiply surprise. So this is what he's talking about. Yeah, rapid progress. Rapid progress in the sense that there's so much progress happening that you can't even keep a track of it. You are not able to catch up. And there are a lot of, if there is one misalignment that happens over there, and if the AI keeps going, it is compounding on that one misalignment. And that leads to many, many surprises for you at the end. It leads to many, many surprises. AI is an amplifier of power. Without deliberate guardrails, it risks amplifying destruction, authoritarianism, and inequality faster than societies can adapt. AI changes human life in an unhealthy way. A world with billions of intelligences that are much smarter than humans, and everything is going to be a very weird world to live in. So what all things he's talking about? Unknown unknowns, black seas of infinity, proposed defenses. So I think proposed defenses is pretty good to look at. Economic power may concentrate dangerous levels. AI could generate trillion-dollar companies and personal fortunes while larger than historical precedent. Democracies relies on citizens being economically necessary. If AI replaces that necessity, political power detaches from the public, but faster and larger. Faster and broader than past revolutions. Speed, progress in years, not generations. 50% of structural unemployment, cognitive underclass, geographic and economic concentration. Democracies must use AI carefully. Democracies need AI to defend against autocracies. But AI also erodes internal safeguards due to fewer humans in the loop, concentrate power, weakening institutional norms. Autonomous weapons, master villains, AI propaganda, strategic AI advisors. AI companies deploy constitutional rules, classifiers to block dangerous outputs. These are costly and create a prisoner's dilemma. Companies can defect to gain margins. Some form of regulation is inevitable. Defense is asymmetric. Attack scale faster than detection, response, or coordination. Can you figure out what percentage of this letter of this blog post was written by AI? Very interesting questions. AI detectors don't detect AI, they mostly detect low entropy or statistical regularity. Human plus AI collaboration is indistinguishable. Fully human. Human written with AI is for outlining, AI is for edits. AI generated in chunks stitched together by a human. Modern AI writes like educated humans. Policy essays, think tank style writing. Stylometry breaks down in this length. Comparing two known authors, detecting plagiarism. Okay, this is interesting. Analyze whether the ideas themselves are derivative or novel. Largely synthetic, not original in the sense of new to humanity, but they are novel in their integration, prioritization, and timing. Country of geniuses in a data center. Hanson's, M's, Bostrom's, superintelligence, Drexler's, comprehensive AI services, OpenAI's internal AI labor framing. Collapses abstract AGI talk into something policymakers and executives can reason about. Implicitly shifts the debate from intelligence to scale plus coordination plus ownership. Novel framing, the framing will stick. Autocracy, amplification via AI status, known risk, unusually explicit. Surveillance states, propaganda, autonomous weapons, all well trodden. Many people gesture at this vaguely. The essay treats this as a first order risk, not a side effect. It names concrete actors, trade-offs, and failure modes. Unusually direct and strategically framed. This moves it from ethics discussion into statecraft problem, labor displacement, framing. Directionally or temporarily sharpened. Entry-level white-collar disruption has been discussed for years. AI substitutes general cognitive labor, not tasks, is cleaner than most treatments. The ability slicing idea is not novel but well articulated. Economic concentration plus democracy erosion. Quantitative extrapolation in trillion-dollar individual fortunes. Explicit coupling of AI infrastructure, political incentives, and regulatory capture. What can AI do? Who gets power? How fast? With what guardrails? Willingness to accept uncomfortable trade-offs. Democracies may need powerful AI weapons. Export controls matter. Some international cooperation is unrealistic. Authorial positioning. This matters more than people admit. AI companies themselves are a risk. We need constraints even on ourselves. This may require taxes and governance beyond normal capitalism. Interesting. Okay, we'll continue this. We'll continue on this blog post. Again,